Hello and welcome back to my channel, Complicated Relationships Reddit Stories. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. What if you caught your wife of 10 years cheating on you, and just when you thought that she'll be remorseful and try to be a loving wife, she responded by saying that she doesn't even know if she wants to rebuild the marriage? How could someone whom you have spent half your life with, loving and caring, do something like that? Let's find out all about it in today's story. Also, if you like what I do, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel.
My ex-wife and I started dating when we were 15, got married when we were 20, young, I know, and had been married for 10 years before I discovered she had been cheating on me. If you do that math, you'll find out that we had been together for half of our lives when I found out that I didn't truly know this person. We have 3 kids together. We had moved away from our hometown so that she could take a better job. We had built a life and an identity together. I loved my wife more than life itself. There was nothing I wouldn't do to make her happy. Every day I challenged myself to think of a way to make her smile or to cheer her up when she was sad. When you're together with someone you trust completely for that long, it's no surprise that your identity as a person gets completely intertwined with your spouse.
The key part of OP's individuality was that he is a committed and a very happily married man.
I had no questions or doubts that my wife felt the same. So naturally, when I found out she was cheating on me, it was devastating. She had just accepted a new job back in our hometown where all our family was, and we were living in her parents' basement while looking for a house. I discovered that she had been cheating on me for at least 2 years of our marriage. Obviously, my first reaction was shock and pain, a much deeper pain than I had ever experienced before. Every breath hurt. Every thought was second-guessed. Every memory was tainted by questions and doubt. However, because of my love for this woman, and because of our vows and my commitment to her, my first reaction wasn't to cut and run. After taking some time to come to terms with what my life truly looked like, I decided that I wanted to give her every chance to rebuild our marriage and regain my trust.
They met up to talk, and OP said that he still loved her and wanted to forgive her.
I said that we should go to counseling to try and resolve the obvious issues we had. She listened as I talked with the occasional tear rolling down her cheek. I felt like I was getting through to her and she would respond like the person I thought she was, a remorseful and loving wife. Her response couldn't have devastated me more. She said, "I don't know that I want to rebuild our marriage." How could someone who I've spent half my life loving and caring for not want to fix the mess she's made? How do I continue breathing, let alone respond, when the foundation I had built my life and identity on was crumbling under my feet? I decided to press on as if she didn't say it or if she didn't mean it. I suggested a counselor and asked if she would give counseling a try to help us both figure out a way through this problem. She begrudgingly acquiesced.
A few weeks of awkward silence and painful conversations, mostly where she tearfully refused to talk or acknowledge him, went by.
Over the weeks, she had said to me more than once that she didn't love me anymore and that she loved him more. Every time she said those things, it felt like she had twisted something in my heart out of the way enough to jab another in next to it. But I persisted because I was committed to my wife and determined to do everything in my power to regain what had been lost and to rebuild what had been toppled. She began flirting with a new guy at her work while insisting that she was just being nice. This guy had already made it clear to her by kissing her at a bar during the week I was away after finding out about the first affair that he wanted more than friendship from her, and now she's texting and flirting with him.
OP pointed out to her what she was doing and what this man wanting from her. She dismissed him as if he had no clue how men think.
Regrettably, in a moment of anger, I yelled at my wife for the first and only time in our entire lives. "You can't be so dumb as to think you're not starting up a new relationship. You're a smart woman. I know you're smarter than that." Her response was the catalyst for a paradigm shift in my actions. I don't want to be in this conversation. I don't want to be in this house. I don't want to be in this family. And I don't want to be in this marriage. I decided that it was time to make her choose between being with me, a loving, caring, committed husband, or being with whoever else she wants. I took the kids, only temporarily seeing as she worked every day and I was a stay-at-home father, and I moved in with my parents. While choosing to no longer support her decisions and to no longer try and change her mind, I had not given up on my commitment or my hope that she would see what she had done is wrong and that she wanted to fix the brokenness she had caused. So, in my commitment, I immediately began messaging her about sharing the kids because I never wanted to take the kids from her. And since I was resolute to not file for divorce, I waited for her to make a move.
A week or so later, an officer of the court came to OP's parents' house to hand him over the divorce papers that she had begun filing the day he moved out.
The falling action. The subsequent divorce consisted of months of pain, phone calls trying to make her realize this wasn't the only action, talks with a lawyer, and completely unreasonable and unfair demands from her through the legal system. It became clearer and clearer that, in her mind, I was the villain. I was the villain for making her choose. I was the villain for not keeping her betrayal a secret from my family, who I was living with during the divorce, or her family, who we were living with at the time of the discovery of infidelity. I was the villain, in spite of my continued commitment and deep-seated love for her. She'll never know how hard I fought for her. She'll never know that in those meetings with my lawyer, he wanted to be way more aggressive, but I pulled him back like a bulldog on a choke collar in order to protect her, and to give her and I both what was fair.
The wife never know that OP fought to protect and provide for her as best he could until the judge finally declared their divorce.
Resolution? It's been a year and a half since the divorce finalized, and I'm in a much better place now. Relying on my faith, my family, and my friends has given me a new stability that felt like a breath of fresh air. And while I still have to talk to her, we have shared custody of our 3 young children, I no longer feel anger, pain, or heartbreak for what she did to me, our children, and our family. Encouragement. I can say, now that I'm on this side of a cataclysmic life change, you can heal from the pain you're going through. Your time frame might be different than mine, and so may be your story, but in the end, you will likely be better off than your ex. They will likely have one of 2 lives ahead of them. A, they will have to live with and learn to cope with the guilt of destroying their family's trust. B, they are unremorseful and unrepentant because they are narcissistic, in which they will continue to use people and throw them away like napkins for the rest of their lives, and will suffer a lifetime of loneliness because they don't know how to truly connect with another person.
You will be hurt. It'll probably hurt for a long time.
And when you think you're done hurting, something will remind you of the life you once had, and the hurting will return. At least for me, these waves of pain come and go less frequently and less intensely as time moves on. But in the end, you will be able to move on with your life as a better, stronger, and wiser individual. You will be able to use this new wisdom to find an even greater relationship than the one you had before. This is a good example of why it is best to take the hard road of divorce. You can never trust a cheater and are wasting limited minutes of your life. Healing sooner and younger is better. Powerful story and testimony of resilience. Excellent example to all those in pain going through the harsh road of betrayal.
End of the story. Well, OP, the biggest lesson you can take away from here is, do not do the pick-me dance. It does not work. You lose her respect, all those around you, and even worse, you lose respect for yourself. You crawl through glass to reach nowhere. In the end, on top of all the mess, you need to add disappointment in yourself, so what's the point? After being betrayed by a cheater, you essentially lose yourself by betraying yourself. So, never ever do the pick-me dance. Good luck to you, OP. Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment and share the video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.